Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Now, I'm super excited for today's video because we have added a new gun to our collection. So what we got for you today is a 460 Smith & Wesson Magnum, and we're going to find out if body armor can stop this beast of a round. Let's take a look at what it's up against. Okay, so we're going to mix it up today. Instead of trying homemade body armor, we're going to be testing out this 3+ body armor from Premier Body Armor, and we're going to see if it can stop the almighty 460 Smith & Wesson Magnum. Let's get set up and we'll start shooting. Alright, so before we get to the 460, we're going to start out with something a little bit smaller. We're going to be starting out with 9mm. So now this body armor is multi-hit rated, so we're really going to put it through its paces today. We're going to work our way up to that 460, and let's shoot it with the 9mm. Now this is level 3+ body armor, so it should have no problem stopping this 9mm. Here we go. Okay, so looks like that 9mm put a little tiny hole in the front here. And it doesn't look like there's really much back face deformation, which is what we'd expect from this body armor. It is good quality, level 3+ armor, so it's doing exactly what I expect. Let's move up a little bit. Let's go to 45 and hit it with that. Okay, so we're moving up from the 9mm, going to the 45. Now, it should have no problem stopping this. Not only is this a much larger round, but it's also moving a lot slower. And you know, it being level 3+, again, should have absolutely no problem stopping this. But let's put it through its paces and shoot it anyway. Okay, here goes nothing. Okay, so we're now starting to test out its multi-hit rating here. So we got the 9mm right down here, and then that 45 went a little bit higher. Now that 45 did deform the back a little bit more than that 9mm did. But other than a little bit more deformation, this thing looks like it's standing up to its rating. So I say let's move it up and let's try hitting it with a 10mm. Now we're moving up to 10mm, and I thought, why not really put this through its paces? So I actually got a very interesting round today for the 10mm too. Is this Woodsman G9. So that's a solid copper 10mm round, and it should be pretty spicy. So let's see how that body armor does against it. I'm pretty curious to see how this does against that body armor. All right, and I'm going to aim a little bit lower here, and here we go. Okay, so that's super cool. So if you can zoom in here, we can actually, let me see if I can pull some of this little bit of plastic coating off the front here. So if we look down here, we can actually see that round stopped right there at the front. But, all right, that right down there, you can see that it bulged it out a lot more there than it did up where it got hit with the 9mm and 45. That's really interesting though, that it was able to just stop it on the front like that. So, you know, this is really high quality body armor. It's kind of what we'd expect from Premier Body Armor. So I say we move it up to a rifle. It should be able to stop it, and then we'll go to the 460. So now before we get on to the 460, we're going to test this armor against 5.56. So it is actually rated to stop this. So again, this should be no problem for this body armor, but let's hit it. This armor is rated to stop the 5.56, so I'm very curious to see how it's doing, especially now that we've got a couple of rounds in here. And if I look on the back side there, it looks like it did in fact stop that round. Let me actually take a look at this closer before we go on to the 460. I'll cut some of this duct tape. All right, so before we go to the 460, let's see how it's doing. So we can see that so far nothing has made it through. We got that 10 mil down here with that G9, that 5.56 right here showing the biggest bulge, and then not really much up here from the 9 mil and 45. So, you know, this stuff is definitely doing its job, and I'm very curious to see how it does against that 460. I'm going to set it back up and we'll get to shooting. So for those of you who maybe don't know, the 460 I think is a really cool handgun. The reason for that being, it can shoot a couple different rounds all out of the same gun. So yes, it can shoot the 460, but it can also shoot the 454 Casull and the 45 Long Colt. So it makes it a very versatile gun to have. Now, before we shoot the body armor, I say let's try it out, because this will actually be the first time I've shot this gun. So I'm really curious to see how it is, and I'm super excited to share that with you. Before we get to that, I just want to ask you guys to like this video and subscribe to my channel, as it really helps us out to make videos like this. Alright, enough talk, let's get to shooting. Okay, so we're going to start by loading this up with some of this 45 Long Colt. It should be the mildest to shoot out of this gun, so I got 3 rounds here that I'm loading it up with, and we'll see how it does. Okay, so first time shooting this gun, and we're going to try to hit that steel target down there. Here we go. Alright, that wasn't too bad. Let's load it up with something else. So now, we're going to load it up with 3 rounds of this 454 Casull, and see how that performs out of this gun. Okay, that's definitely hitting with a little bit more energy. Awesome, so that really got that target swinging. Now let's move up to that 460 Smith & Wesson Magnum. So before we shoot that body armor, let's take a couple shots with this, with the 460. I want to load 2 rounds in here, only because, you know, this ammunition is a little bit expensive, and I don't have a ton of it. But we got 2 rounds loaded up, and let's see how this shoots. Woo! And one more. I don't know if you guys could see it on that video, but the fireball out of the end of this thing is huge. Alright, that's a lot of power. Now let's see if that body armor can stop that. So to start out, we're going to start with a hollow point, and this is a 200 grain from Hornady. Load that 1 round in there, close it up. Here goes nothing. Oh, that hit that hard. I'm very curious to see if it stopped it. Let's go take a look. That definitely put a hurting on this body armor here. Moved it back about a foot from where we had it. And, you know, you could actually, if you zoom in here too, if we zoom in, we can pull up some of this plastic coating off from around here. You can see from right in there that it looks like it did actually catch that round, but going to the backside, it definitely bulged that out a little bit. So, you know, next up, I got a very interesting round for the 460, and I'm curious to see if it's going to stop. let's go take a look at that. Okay, so I kind of expected it to stop that hollow point because they're meant to open up and dissipate all their energy, and that body armor should be pretty good at catching those. But Underwood Ammo does make a round for the 460 called the Extreme Penetrator. And that is just a brass solid, so it should do a much better job of punching through stuff like body armor. So let's see if this Extreme Penetrator can live up to its name. Alright, so I got that one round loaded up. Let's see if this level 3+ plate can stop the mighty 460. Here we go. Oh! Okay. I'm very curious to see if it caught it. It moved quite a bit, so let's go check it out. Okay, that hit it hard. So let's see if we can see that round too. Pull that back. Yeah, I can't really see that round in there, but you know, this armor did a really good job of stopping that, but it definitely hit it the hardest out of everything we shot at it. It threw this back a couple feet. Very curious to see what the back looks like. Okay, so even wearing this body armor, you know, that would have hurt. That would have definitely put a hurting on you, but you know, Premier Body Armor, they do a really good job with their armor plates, and it did in fact stop the 460. Although it looks like that was pretty close to making it all the way through. You know, they say it is multi-hit rated, so let's hit it with a couple more rounds. Okay, so it is multi-hit rated, so let's start out with hitting it with some more 9mm. And some more 45. And a couple more of these 10mm. How about some more 5.56? And last up, 2 more of these Extreme Penetrator rounds. Let's go see how well it was able to stop all those rounds. Okay, so we threw a lot of lead at this thing. Right off the bat, I can see we got a 45 right out the front. And yeah, this looks pretty chewed up. It might have let some rounds through. If anything, it probably let those 5.56 through because we were grouping them all really, really close together. Let's see, we got, what is this guy? Let's see if I can pull it out. Come on. Ugh.
Let's leave it.
No. I could get it. All right. That looks like one of the G9s. You know, let's just rip all this plastic front off. Let's see what we did. Untape from here. Okay, so it does look like we got some of those rounds through, but you know, we were definitely putting this through its paces. Looks like it was mostly 5.56 that we started hitting all in the same spot. And that's really what did it in. So it is multi-hit rated, just, you know, not 30 rounds all in the same spot from a 5.56. Kind of curious to see what we find if we open this all up. Let's see if I could get this apart a little bit. All right, so I opened it up a little bit, and it does definitely look like those 5.56 rounds were what made it through. Found a couple more of these G9 10 mil in there. There's one still stuck in here, and those 460 rounds. Whew, it barely caught them. They're definitely right on the very limit of almost going through. So that's a very interesting result from the 460. It definitely hit this with a lot of energy, but we did find out that level 3+ armor will stop a 460. And I hope to see you for more science next time on the Armor Farm. Does this make me look pretty?